Hello everybody, this is Richard. In this video, I'm going to be just essentially telling you how to set up some of your Facebook angles. So, if you want to be successful with affiliate CPA marketing, then you need to become a pro with angles. Now, I'm going to walk you through what you can see on my screen in a moment. Just listen up very carefully. But angles, they are where the money is made. So great campaigns are not found, they are created. And they're created in your noggin. And your noggin, if you don't know what that means, is in your head. Alright? So for you to continuously um, generate revenues with CPA, you need to know how to continuously generate angles. And the beautiful thing is, if you have a good system, you can continuously make more and more and more angles. It really isn't that difficult once you have a system in place and you have some basic copywriting skills. So now, let me just quickly show you this. If you guys haven't read this book, I would highly suggest that you do. Cashvertising, how to use more than 100 secrets of ad agency psychology to make big shmoney selling anything to anyone. I've got a background in sales. Colin's got a background in sales. Anyone who's who has a background in sales would understand how important psychology is as a factor for you winning deals, right? And in marketing, psychology is all you have to win deals because you're not with somebody face to face, right? You're not talking to them. All you have is your campaigns and your creatives that generate that psychological sell and that power of influence. Now we do this as CPA marketers through the angles. All right. So what you can see here is these are sort of the five main angles that we run with Facebook. So we have the anniversary angle, we have the holiday angle, we have a simple angle, targeted angle, and we have a clickbait angle, right? Now, each angle comes with its different level of risk in terms of, will Facebook ban me? Well, we try to demonstrate the risk element here. But obviously, as we said time and time again, high risk, high reward, vice versa. Low risk, low reward. Does it make sense? I'm sure it makes sense, right? So if you don't want to take any risk, don't expect to see the true profits, and don't expect to start printing money. But if you're gonna take the risk, then be prepared to get slapped up with by Facebook. Like don't cry about it because you've taken that risk. Simple as that. It's just very simple sport. So what we have first of all is the anniversary angle, right? And this one is quite risky. So here's an example. So Walmart's 50-year anniversary, Walmart is giving away 100 gift cards. Click here to win. Obviously, Walmart is probably not Walmart's 50-year anniversary. I don't even know how many years Walmart has been around for, but we just made that up. And then you can spread that into mini angles, right? So this is around a corporate anniversary, but you could even make a mini angle that potentially could be product specific. Like, I don't know, let's say, not saying that you should run KFC or a brand like, KFC on Facebook, but if you did, you could potentially say like, we're celebrating 10 years of our Wicked Zinger burger and giving away 100 gift cards. Click here to win. So there are also product specific angles. So if you know that a brand that you're working with on Facebook has released a new range or a new product, then you can make that product specific angle potentially, as long as obviously the product is something that most people would know about. It needs to still remain broad. Don't talk about something that's completely random that no one would care about or know about. But yeah, that's the way you can separate it. And once you kind of understand how you can generate mini angles, you can essentially rinse the shit out of everything, right? So importance in being able to generate mini angles, because you can continuously brainstorm and improve your targeting and also improve your level of competition when it comes to affiliates, right? If everyone's doing the same angles in terms of the broader angles, then you're just going to be competing directly, right? But you want to have an edge. So you need to be smart and need to think about how can I not only just differentiate, but also maintaining the same return on investment or more or higher return on investment than my competitor, right? So yeah, alongside that we have the holiday angle. Now, every single month of the year there is something going on, right? Well, in every single year there's something happening. So like I've got a public holidays calendar in the UK. So this is just a very basic holidays. So you've got New Year's Day, 1st of Jan. You've got Good Friday. Um, you've got Easter Monday. Early May, that's a bank holiday. Spring bank holiday. Summer bank holiday. Christmas Day. Boxing Day. There's all these are like the government, I call them government holidays. But beyond that, there's actually other holidays that are less sort of government and more the internet will know about them. So a good example would be Cyber Monday. But I'm actually going to pull up a list. So we need to just Google social media holiday calendar and you'll see a bunch of holidays. I'm not saying you use all of them because some of them are just completely like bullshit, like Bubble Bath Day. I'm pretty sure most people won't know that exists. But there are potentially some topics that could be useful, right, for a particular month, right? So let's scroll through. So obviously in February, the main thing that you're going to angle around is going to be Valentine's Day. You can start Valentine's Day from pretty much the end of January in terms of your promotions, right? Because it's relevant. People, as soon as New Year's Day and stuff is over, people are thinking about Valentine's. So if you're running it like towards the end of Jan, then you can run Valentine's as an angle. But it's also these other stuff, right, that goes on. I'm not saying you use them. Obviously, they need to be relevant and be broad, as in people actually know about them. But this gives you more supply of like potential holiday angles, right? Like Employee Appreciation Day, right? I wouldn't say that I would use that, but there could be days where you potentially could use it. So I'll scroll down. So again, look, St. Patrick's Day. That's obviously a public one. April Fool's Day. You could do like a little funny angle or something like that. What else? Happy Easter, Good Friday, obviously. We've got May Day. That's probably one that everyone should know about. Keep scrolling. We've got Father's Day. Even though Father's Day isn't as popular as Mother's Day, it still could be relevant. Now, let's go up. Let's go here. Cyber Monday. All these big holidays. Cyber Monday, Black Friday. These things are super relevant. If you're promoting an offer and you're saying like, celebrate Black Friday, blah blah blah, or our Black Friday promotion, we're giving away 100 blah 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 gift cards. Boom, you can start killing it, and that's how you can do the holiday angles, and you can completely rinse it, right? But you need to basically make yourself almost like a calendar of how you're going to be launching your campaigns and what angles you can run for each different particular campaign, right? So here's some mini angles, for example. We have like the Valentine's Day, we've got the Cyber Monday, Christmas Day, and you can just keep going. Like, as long as you can keep generating mini angles that can keep rotating, you're constantly going to be able to run fresh campaigns all the time. And that's how you can constantly maintain a high ROI, right? If you just keep it all the same, just very basic, fairly standard, don't get me wrong, you can still make money, but you're not going to be looking like you're printing money, right? It's not going to be particularly that crazy in terms of like the money you're going to be making. And I'm sure, everyone listening right now, you want to make some crazy money, right? So you need to have the capabilities of generating angles on a consistent basis and essentially building out these mini angles. So here's a simple angle, very low risk, I'd say. And yeah, so you click here and we might pay your groceries this month, right? Very standard. It's kind of like quite similar to the angle that I've run for some of the examples that I've done in terms of the tutorials for the campaign builds and stuff like that. And it's very simple. Click here, we might pay for your groceries this month, but you can increase the risk by adding some mini angles to that, right? So if you wanted to add some scarcity, as you can see here, you can say we might click here, we might pay for your grass use this month, and you can say something like with a Tesco voucher, be quick, only 100 left, or something like that, right? Oops, only 100 left. So you're adding scarcity if you run it like that. Now you can add urgency by saying, be quick. This ends tomorrow or something like that, right? And you can test that out and seeing, does the scarcity help? Does urgency help? Improve the ROI? Or I just run it straight? But because you're generating all these different mini angles off the back of that one angle, you can continuously generate more and more profits and revenue on a consistent basis because you're changing the angling and the marketing message to the audience on a regular basis, right? And now this is how you can consistently have months where you're doing 6 figures or more every single month on a consistent basis because every month you are constantly changing up your angles and you're making your angles time relevant as well. If you're doing like the holiday sort of angles too. Now, obviously we have our more targeted high risk angle. Sorry, bear me a moment. Sorry. Obviously, we have our more targeted angle, which is high risk, and this one is like you'd put like attention, brand lovers, which would be like attention, Tesco lovers, get your free gift card only today, right? So you're calling out the brand in this one, which is risky because obviously you're just saying like you are the Tesco lover, blah blah blah. So obviously, if you know about Facebook and their rules, they don't really like that as much, but it does help. Like a lot of the campaigns that I've run with messages like that, they do have quite a high CTR because like you're directly almost like calling somebody out specifically, which it helps a lot. So what you can also test the angle like that, and you kind of like focus down on somebody, but bear in mind that it does have a high risk. So, but yeah, like I said, high risk, high reward. That's how it works. And then obviously we have our clickbait angle. So the clickbait angle, high CTR, a bit lower conversion rate as you'd expect because you're bringing the traffic in, and they're just going on a clickbait. They're not the quality isn't as high, so there's not really much qualification of the traffic based on your message. You're just bringing anybody in and just seeing if they convert. So what you'll notice when you run campaigns like that, the offer conversion rate is lower than on with different angles that you run. So that's one thing to bear in mind. However, you can still make good ROI with those campaigns because the CTR is so high that your CPC is so low that the amount of the cost for you to get people to the offer page is much lower. So it doesn't really matter if the conversion rate isn't as high. But just bear that in mind when you're running with that particular angle. So the main thing with angles that I just want to sort of end this video with is that you want to make sure that you're creating almost a system for generating mini angles, because for you to consistently make Facebook work as a traffic source, you need to know how to generate angles every single week, every single month. And you need to have a schedule of what angles you're going to run at what time for what campaign. And now you're really building a media buying, agency. You're really building your CPA marketing business because you have it all fully fleshed out. So in a month's time, you should know exactly what angles are going to be being run. What are the big brands doing right now? Because the big brands, they obviously have like an entire department that does all the research for them, right? And you as an affiliate, you can eat off that knowledge by doing your own research into what campaigns brands run at different times of the year. So even if you're seeing brand advertised on your television and you're seeing, if you're noticing Christmas things start to come up, most likely it's time to start launching some Christmas related campaigns, even if that's in October, even if that's at the end of this month, in certain geos, because though they're not putting those adverts out for the sake of it. They are putting those ads out because they've done research and they know what times of year people spend for different sort of holidays, and that's more relevant to the holiday angle too. So yeah, guys, angles. Make sure you read this book or listen to the book. I listen to it because I'm an Audible sort of guy. Just 'cause I'm always on the move, always doing stuff, and I just prefer it. But I do also have the book. I just like to look at it, but I don't actually read the book myself. But it just looks nice in my apartment. But yeah, make sure you get advertising. Make sure you look at the social media calendar. Don't be silly with it. Like International Mountain Day, probably not a campaign you want to run, because like who the hell knows that there's an International Mountain Day? I'm saying that, and I'll find out there's probably a community of 50 million people that care about it. But anyway, make sure you do your research on the holidays and stuff like that. Make sure that it's not just a random thing that you're selecting. I know that if I didn't say that, somebody would do something like run a campaign on no interruption days. Hey guys, this is Tesco. We're celebrating no interruption days. Come on, be serious. Let's be serious now. But yeah, hopefully this has helped you guys, with the angle generations, give you some inspiration. But yeah, really focus on, engaging your brain, using this as a model template. This is just a template. The angle creation is going to be up to you, right? You need to think about it. You need to discover it. You need to learn. You need to adapt. You need to, be creative. This is where the real profits are made. It's all in the angles.